On today's episode, I'm going to be thrifting for items that are going to go in my formal living room makeover. I'll show you the huge haul that I got from all the different places that I went, and I got some pretty good deals this time, way better deals than I got in my last video. But I'm going to be making over this formal living room. I had talked about it in my last couple videos. I finished my formal dining room and now that room is next. So in preparation for that big room makeover, I'm going to be doing quite a few thrift flips and some of those are going to be in this video as well. So sit down, relax, or pull out your projects and start working along with me. I'm so excited to get this going and finally get this room looking just as good as the room next to it. And stay tuned to the very end of this video because I'm going to be announcing my very next Ugly Duckling Challenge. And the next Ugly Duckling Challenge is going to have a really unique theme to it, which I'm also very excited about. So stay tuned to the end to see when that's going to be, especially if you want to join. Hello and welcome back to Desert DIY. If you are new here, my name is Corey. Like I said in the intro, today I'm going to be focusing on thrift flips for this room makeover that is going to be coming up very soon. It right now looks drab and has tons of things in there that aren't going to be staying in there. And next to that beautiful dining room, it just makes no sense. It takes away from the amazing makeover that I did in the dining room because that is my favorite room in the house right now, and I want this room to become my next favorite room in the house. So I have some high standards for myself to get this room looking just as good as the one next to it. And my dream boxes need to get moved upstairs into my new office, so that's going to happen in my next video. But I'm going to take you along to thrift with me. This is at a Goodwill. You guys, I finally found a Goodwill with normal or semi-normal prices. I would say definitely higher than, a couple years ago, but still affordable prices. And I'm really happy to report that I got quite a few things that were in really good condition and perfect for the room makeover. The first thing that I'm going to show you that I got from the thrift store is this clock. It was adorable, perfect blue color, that French blue that I love so much. It was $9.99 and the brand was Pier 1, which is cool because my dining set is Pier 1 also, and it was originally $50. Holy moly. Look at these guys. I had to share these because I thought they were so unique. They were $25 a piece, I think. I'm not sure if it was for the whole set or for each one, but they were red, white, and blue, and the seats were gingham. I thought that was so unique. And there was another chair that I thought was really unique with this little detail on the back. It was too bad that it was missing some of the veneer. They were asking $10 for it, which I wasn't ready to pay $10 for it since it was in such rough condition. Just wanted to share it because it was pretty cool. The next thing I want to show you is this plastic box that was $4.99. It had a bunch of these little houses in it that were really neat. And I thought that these would make really good decor for the next item, which is this little wire shelf. It's the perfect green to match the dining room next to my formal living room. I'm trying to bring both colors together in like an inverse. So like the walls are green in one room, so the decor will be green in the other room. And so I thought this shelf would be perfect. All I need to do is dust it off, and it's a pretty decent price, I think. You would be paying a lot more than that at like an antique mall. My daughter found this weird head thing, and I just thought it was weird that there was a dinosaur coming out of the head. That's definitely something I have never seen before. They were asking $3.99 for it, in case you were wondering. Not something I would buy, but just very weird. Next to that was a whole bunch of Christmas decor, and I have a question for you all. Please answer this down in the comment section. I would really appreciate it because I have been wondering this for a while now. Do you miss this style of Christmas decor that was around about 10, 20 years ago? It was a more whimsical style like these pieces, and it's a lot more detailed than the Christmas decor that you would find now normally. Like these were some hooks to hang your stockings, and they were $2.99 in case you're wondering, but they're very detailed. And then here is a perfect example of more modern decor. So very simplistic, minimalist, and neutral in a way, like with the silver. And I just wonder, which style are you decorating with, or which style do you prefer? Do you prefer the more old school version, or do you like the more modern style? I feel like I like both, but I think this year I'm going to go with the more traditional and whimsy style. And then that was a cute little vase I had to show. But look at this. This is so cute. I almost got this one. I thought it was just a little bit overpriced at $9.99, but this would be really cute to turn into like a little fairy house, or to change the colors up on Christmas, or keep it as is if you really like how it looks. There was also tons of baskets, but let me show you everything I got in my thrift haul. The first thing that I want to point out is that I did not show you everything that I found in the store. So some of these things you're going to be like, where did that come from? Well, some of it is from Goodwill, and then some of it was also from other secondhand stores. So I didn't show you all of it because I feel like that would be a very long shop with me video, and I'm more if I get to the point kind of gal. So some of these pieces came from different stores, but they're almost all going to be used for my formal living room makeover. So some of it I'm not so sure yet how I'm going to use it in the room. I just got it because I loved it. I think everybody's guilty of doing that. And then those pillows there are obviously not thrifted. I got those at TJ Maxx, but they were on clearance. So, but the first thing I want to talk about is this mirror here. It was $8.99, so $9. Come on, camera. There you go. $9 for this mirror, and after working on it later on, I kind of started feeling like I overpaid for this mirror. The frame is plastic, and the back had water damage, like mildew, mold maybe growing on the back, which is a whole new experience that I'm learning about, having been a girl that had lived in the desert all her life. That was not a thing in Arizona, but here in Houston, Texas, water damage is like a big deal. Another thing I got is this big, huge bag of seashells for $4.99, which I thought was a really good deal. It has a ton of shells in there, more than you can tell just from this angle on the camera. And I'm going to use those to go around the frame of this mirror here. I saw one at an estate sale one time that had shells all around the edge of the mirror, but it was too expensive and it was damaged. So I thought one day I'm going to make one, and I finally found one. Next time I got this little basket here. It was $3.99. I thought this could be really cute for my French country theme. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in it yet or where it's going to go. I just knew it would go with my theme, so I snagged it while I could. These are little planters. They were originally $5 with the tag on the bottom, and I think it's from maybe the Target dollar spot or something like that. I don't really recognize that sticker on there, but I paid $1.99, so I did get a little bit of a deal, and I thought these would be cute year-round through different seasons, different holidays. I could change out whatever florals that I put in there, and it would look really cute, and they go with my little French country or cottagey theme, I think. And then that clock, I think this clock is my favorite thing that I found in this haul. I don't know why, I really love it. Even though it has some spots that are damaged, I don't even mind. I haven't tested to see if it works yet either, but I think it's gorgeous, and I've set it up in a few different places since recording this video, and it looks good in everywhere, every single spot that I put it in. So I think this $10 was definitely worth it when I bought this clock. The next thing is the headboard that is behind everything here. This headboard I got from an estate sale, and I spent about $5 on it, and it's going to be changing quite a bit later on in the video. Next, I'm showing you this box with a little like basket vase in there. What would be the right word for this? If you know the right word for what this would be called, please let me know. It's just like a little tchotchke holder. And it was in brand new condition, still had the box. Even the box is really pretty. I'll probably keep the box to use to organize with or something. But I thought it was gorgeous, and it goes with that cottage theme that I'm doing in this room. Next, I'll show you a little bit more about these cute little houses that I got for $4.99. And I think there was like 8 or 9 of them in there. So I think that's a really good deal for $5 getting all those in there. And I'm sorry that my camera was so bright right here, but they're real reproductions of actual places, I think. And they were made in 1994, which is my era. I love the 90s. Let me know if you loved the 90s as well. But I don't know if I'm going to paint them or keep them as is yet. I do think I want to put them in that green wire shelf that's behind it. I'm just not sure if I want to paint them or not. But then here's that wire shelf. This is also one of my favorite things that I got from this haul. It was $5.99. I thought that was a great price for it. You'd end up paying at least 20 bucks for it at a thrift store that is like an antique store or something like that. Next is these pillows. I got them on clearance for $16, and they are Laura Ashley, my friends. I love Laura Ashley. I actually reached out to Laura Ashley and asked them if they would sponsor my channel because I love them so much. And they didn't have anything for me to do at the time. They didn't have any campaigns out, and they probably don't need people to advertise for them since it's such a big company. But you can dream, right? I also got that blanket from TJ Maxx as well. And I'm going to use them both on the couch that I bought for this room, which is going to be delivered soon. And it's going to be blue. Next, I'm going to show you these two side tables or nightstands. I got them for $20 a piece, which I thought was fair. They were in pretty decent condition, not perfect, but pretty good. And they're a very expensive brand of furniture. The brand is called Baker Furniture, and they make fine furniture, so it's very expensive, well made, and pretty collectible now. So I feel like I got a really good deal on them, and I didn't even look at the maker's mark or the maker's stamp in there when I was at the store. I just saw them, thought they were beautiful, had to get them. Didn't even know if I was going to want to use them in this living room or not, but I thought I can't leave them here in case I do want them because I knew those were going to sell immediately, and I don't know how I got lucky to be the one that was there when they got pulled out. Here's a closer look at that headboard that I got. I have a feeling this headboard is from the Depression era, sometime in the 1920s, 1930s, and so that makes it almost an antique. The carvings on the top appear like they might be hand carved, but I kind of doubt that. They seem a little too perfect in the leaves, like it was the same. I don't know. It's really hard to tell with some things if it was like mass produced or hand carved, but this I'm not so sure. You let me know what you think in the comments. And I know a lot of you are going to look at this and think, please don't paint it, but I am going to paint it, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings that I'm going to paint this. It's gorgeous as it is as a wood headboard, but it was broken and missing the sides and the the footboard. Everything on there was gone. All that was left was this headboard, and it was a weird size, and it probably would have never been used again. They even put that board on the bottom to make it bigger because it didn't fit a normal sized bed. But we are going to be cutting it in half right here and turning it into a cute little chalkboard that I can use all year long and hang it on my wall as one of the focal points for this living room makeover. I think it's going to turn out really gorgeous, and I'm excited to show you exactly what I did. So the first thing that my husband did for me was he started taking off that board that was on the bottom. Like I said, somebody had used it because they were trying to use a standard size bed with this, and it was also missing the side rails and the footboard and everything. So I'm sure that this board served as a way to screw on a metal bed frame on there. But something I want to point out is that if you look on the very bottom of the headboard, you can see I cut off the legs that were on there. There was about 8-inch wooden legs that were on here that I had to cut out in a parking lot as I was picking up this headboard from an estate sale. And everybody was staring at me. It was about 5,000 degrees outside, so I'm sweating my butt off. And I had my kids there with the air conditioner on in the car. And I'm out by the trunk cutting the legs off of this piece of furniture so I can fit it in my SUV. But you know what? That is the life of a furniture flipper, and I'm the same kind of person that'd be picking something up on the side of the road, like I'm sure so many of you are. So I don't really care if people look at me funny when I do stuff like that. My husband's going to sand down the part he just cut off. He's starting out with 150 grit sandpaper, and then he switches to 220 grit just to make sure that there's not going to be any kind of splinters sticking out. This is going to be hanging above our head height as if we were sitting. So we want to make sure that nobody's going to catch their hair in there or bonk their head on it or anything like that. We have little ones in the house, so two of our little ones are at that age range where they want to climb everything, and it's always go, go, go. What can we get into? So we want to make sure everything that we're putting in our house is safe for them as well. Plus, my husband is very detail oriented, so he sees all the little details and things, which is why I love for him to do parts of the projects like this. Next thing he's going to do is shellac the whole piece. The reason he's going to spray shellac on here, if you are new here, is because, especially when you cut wood or sand wood, the stain will start coming out again when you paint it. So the stain could seep through your paint and leave ugly marks all throughout your paint. So you want to make sure that you're sealing it in with shellac. And as you're seeing it right now, it looks like it's so beautiful with just plain wood. So another great point about using shellac before painting is that it preserves the wood under the paint. That way none of the paint's going to get into the wood grain. So if somebody later on wants to strip this down to wood, it's going to be so much easier to do that since I did this layer of shellac, or my husband did this layer of shellac under there. I'm going to go over it with some off-white, like antique white on the edge around the frame. And then in the center, I'm going to do a beautiful green color that I think looks similar to the green chalkboards of historic schools. And I mean, even not that long ago, they had green chalkboards in schools. But I prefer the green chalkboards over the black chalkboards just because it's less stark of a contrast when you do a white frame. Although I have seen white frame chalkboards that look really beautiful and farmhouse looking, but I'm trying to also bring in greens from that dining room into this living room. So I thought that using different types of greens in here would be really neat and give it that collected, like I got all these things over the course of 20 years look that's so popular right now. It took 2 coats of white to get it looking exactly how I wanted it, and I love that the chalk paint looks very matte and flat. It's looking very French country or shabby chic right now, and I'm loving it. Here's the green color that I chose. The color's called Cactus. Guys, I am not sponsored by Dixie Belle. I just like their paints. And the reason why, main reason why I like their paints is because it's zero VOC and I am super sensitive to paint smells and fumes and things like that. Later on in the video, I have to use a type of glue that has a smell to it, and oh my gosh, I regret it so bad. I felt all horrible the rest of the day after using that. My throat starts hurting, and it's just, I'm very dramatic, I guess, but the smells really bother me. And I do my projects inside, especially during the summer, so I want my kids to be able to be around these smells without it being something toxic for them too. So, end of rant about paint smells. But look at the color that this is. It's so gorgeous. Wait till you see it when it's done. Applying a clear coat to something you're going to use as a chalkboard is really important because regular chalk paint will wipe off with water if you don't seal it. So had to make sure to seal that in. Now my husband and I are hanging it up on the wall. And I know that you can kind of see some of the room right now, but pretend that you don't because I want to surprise you with my room makeover for my next video. So yes, some of this is showing what I'm using in here in this room, but just pretend that you don't see that. It's going to be a little bit different than what it looks like right here anyways, but I just want to point out that we did screw it into studs. That's very important for something heavy like a headboard going up on the wall on a vertical surface. These side tables or nightstands were in great condition. They just needed to be polished and cleaned really well. So that is all I did for these two side tables. And wait till you see how much this one right here is worth if you tried to buy one online. Here they are all cleaned up. The one on the left does have a funky repair on the corner that is hot pink for some reason. Very strange. But that's easily fixed and I'll worry about that another day. But look at how great they look and look at how much just one of them is selling for online. Unbelievable. I feel so lucky to have discovered these pieces. The next thing I'm going to work on is this plastic framed mirror. And this mirror, I don't believe in curses, but if I were going to believe in curses, I would believe that this mirror right here is cursed. I had horrible luck with it for a while. For like a week, I could not get anything right with fixing this thing up. But once I did, it wasn't so bad. So I started out by painting the outer frame of the mirror with that off-white antique white, the same color white that I painted on the frame of my chalkboard. And it's also the same white that I painted a mirror in the dining room attached to this room. So I'm trying to kind of make it more cohesive, like I was saying. But the reason why I feel like this mirror, if there was such thing as curses, that this mirror was cursed, is because first, it had that water damage on the back. So I removed that cardboard on the back off camera. I just got it done really quick because I didn't want to bring that into my house. And so I removed that. And once I did that, the mirror fell out of the frame. The glue just fell apart and the mirror fell out. And it didn't break, thankfully. So I guess I didn't get the other mirror curse of bad luck for 7 years. But then I used some glue, some JB Weld glue, which stinks horribly, but only for a short period of time, and that glue didn't hold. So now you see it with no frame on it, and I thought, okay, well, while the frame is off, I'm going to just scrape off all that paint from when I had painted it. You guys know I don't tape off any glass or mirrors when I paint. So then after I had scraped off all that paint and the old JB Weld, which still was stinking at my house, that JB Weld glue is horribly stinky. And of course, only all the good glues stink really bad. I don't tell me if there are some that don't because I feel like they all do, and if they don't stink, they're not sticky enough. But I used some E6000 instead of the JB Weld because the JB Weld didn't even work. I feel like there was something up with that one that I had bought. It was not mixing well, and a lot of it stayed liquid for a long time, which is why I think it stunk so bad. But I put on the E6000. Put the mirror back into the frame. You can tell this mirror is plastic, guys. Remember, it's not an antique. It's just a piece of plastic. But then I flipped it over and set it on a box underneath to hold it up while it's the glue is setting. And then I dumped out all of these beautiful seashells for me to kind of arrange. It took me a while to figure out how I wanted to arrange this. It was one of those projects where you go into it thinking, oh, this is going to be so easy, and then you start doing it and you start sweating and then you start getting frustrated and then you think you're going to run out of glue and you can't figure out which way to arrange the seashells. I was just going nuts on this thing, and it ended up being not as relaxing of a project as I thought it was going to be to glue them on. And I also didn't realize how hard it was going to be to glue them on in the first place. I'm actually kind of afraid of lifting this mirror up because I haven't lifted it up since gluing these seashells on yet. So I really hope that they stick well, and you'll see in my next video if they do or not. But it does turn out really gorgeous, that is for sure. But it's just really hard to figure out if you used enough glue under the rim of these seashells because the whole surface is bumpy. You know, there's no flat surface to glue it straight onto. So you have to just kind of find spots where it's touching and apply glue there and hope it's enough. If there are other ways of doing this, let me know in the comments because I feel like it's just the way I was doing it can't be the only way. I don't know. I did my best. And it's going to be really fun watching this in super speed in just a minute when I fast forward it a lot. But I wanted to kind of give you a slower idea of how I arranged the shells. So I did a little bit of a pattern in color and not so much shape, but I did I did it to where I had like orange, purple, and then white. And I kind of repeated that pattern around the whole frame because I didn't want it to be like when you're laying floor tiles and they have a pattern to them and you end up putting a whole bunch of brown ones in one spot and then the other area looks way lighter. I didn't want it to look like it wasn't cohesive, and so I thought that building a pattern would be the best way to do it. And that is definitely something that I would recommend doing if you're going to do a seashell project that's not all pure white seashells. Kind of create a pattern that you can repeat. It also prevents you from using up all of one color in one spot and then running out and not having enough for the other areas, because you can see as you're going if you're going to have enough of the colors as you're going. And I had some gray in there too, and so I put gray here and there throughout. These seashells were stunning, and I don't know where they came from or who collected them or anything. I always think about that. Like, who collected these and bagged them up to give them to Goodwill eventually? You know, I wonder if they went and got them themselves or if they had bought it on Amazon or something, or what beach that they went to on some vacation. But either way, it's going to end up in my formal living room. We live in a Bay Area. Here in Houston, we have the Gulf of Mexico right here. And I want to really embrace that style here. And I want to embrace just the things that are very Houston while I live here. And I think that's important when you live in a place, is to embrace what is there and celebrate the land and the area around your home. It makes everything feel more cohesive with the inside and the outside. But look at how great these seashells looked around the inside of the rim. Look at how many I had left too. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these leftover ones. But here's a closer look while the glue is drying. It's going to take 3 days for this glue to cure, so I'm not going to get to show you it up on the wall. I want to make sure it's very sturdy and strong before we hang it up. But before you go, I wanted to talk about my Ugly Duckling Challenge that is coming up. So I'm going to show you the invite to it, and if you're somebody who loves watching it or wants to participate in it, I'm going to give you all the details. So the next one is going to be on August 27th this month, and it's going to have a theme that is Make It Sparkle. So this could be adding in a glass hardware or chrome, or doing a pearl color, pearl glaze, or adding on any gold or silver flake, or anything that you can think of that kind of creates a shine or a sparkle to your piece. That is the theme for this. And this is my piece that I'm going to be using for the Ugly Duckling Challenge. It's not huge. It's a small nightstand. Well, I guess a normal size nightstand, but normally I do big things like dressers and, and things like that. But I wanted to do something kind of small this time because I think that sometimes when you do smaller things, you can add cooler details to it. So I'm excited to make this have some sparkle to it. It kind of already does with those handles on there. I don't know if I'm going to keep those handles on there or not. Let me know in the comments section, what would you do to add sparkle to a piece of furniture like this? Because I have an idea of what I want to do. But what would you do, and why? Let me know why. Why would you do that, or why would you not do certain things? Or if you hate sparkle, let me know in the comments, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you see everybody else's projects and they have sparkle in it, you're gonna be like, wow, I didn't realize I do like sparkly stuff. But it doesn't have to be sparkly like a little girl's princess bedroom. It can be a grown up and beautiful version of that. So please let me know if you're going to be participating by commenting down below. I'm really excited to see what everybody's going to make and how they're going to incorporate a little bit of sparkle into this end of summer Ugly Duckling challenge. I will also have one at the end of fall and at the end of winter, so stay tuned for those as well. And thank you so much for watching today. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Have a great day. Bye.